Pour a cup and connect with us today as we talk about anxiety. This is Mugs and Mercy. Cheers. Today we are going to be talking about a big one. It's anxiety.
But first, Katie, what's in your mug?
Oh, hello. I got anxious. I forgot what we're doing. Okay. I'm doing iced coffee, as is clearly my preferred drink, with caramel macchiato creamer, but a little maple syrup and a little Lakanto. And this is my good, bad, ugly Cinderella mug.
Oh, iced coffee and queens.
Emily, what's in your mug?
In my mug, and you can't see it if you're just listening, but I have a giant mug that says, in writing that's kind of fading, it says, "I love you more than coffee." My husband gave this mug to me, so it's special on Valentine's Day. Came with a pink pair of socks that said the same thing. Anyways, and I have an
Gift set.
actual cup of a Frappuccino from a local coffee shop in it, still in the cup in the mug.
Ice
But
blended
it is
coffee
an
drink.
ice blended decaf mocha with raspberry. So it's pretty
Wow.
good.
And an
Oh,
egg
your
on top.
decaf.
Yeah, I know. Talk about anxiety. Christine.
If
There
you're
was-
just listening, I'm rolling my eyes. No.
There was a bit of confusion when Emily said, "Katie, is it okay if I just put this in my cup?" And Katie was like, "I don't see
And
why not."
I literally meant the cup in the mug.
Cup in a cup.
So, Christine, what's in your mug?
I'm glad you asked. I have a drink that's called Mud Water. I don't know if y'all have heard of it. It's got chai tea and cocoa and mushrooms. And so it's got a little bit of calf, Katie, like what would be in
I'm
tea.
proud of you.
Thank you. But it's got a lot of other good stuff and it's yummy and it's in my lovely, this mug is so cool. My husband doesn't like it, but it's like blue glass mug and it
Why?
says
It's amazing.
it's 2000, the new millennium.
It's amazing.
And we actually got this at a church conference in the year 2000 and yeah, I love this mug. It's so like campy.
That
and
is
I
an
don't know.
awesome mug. Fun fact: people who were born after 2000 can be up to 25 years old now. That's really weird.
That's weird.
Ew, that's weird. Not you to the people, but like makes me feel old.
Katie, I still think you're a baby because you were born in the 90s. If I'm allowed to say that.
I am a
I'm like,
90s baby. I know 80s babies. What?
I just barely made it to the 80s. I'm proud of that. Okay.
So Emily, we all agreed to do this episode, but it was one I know you were particularly wanting to talk about this topic. And we're like, yeah, that's a good one. So we were why the
nervous
topic
to
is
like
so
dive
important.
into like something such a deep subject because it can be really deep. Okay, so you guys don't know this yet. These two do, but I have a lot of things. I have OCD, misophonia, anxiety. What I've noticed as I've grown older is almost all those neurodivergencies, not diversities,
mental health
struggles.
Yeah.
At least like half of them stem from anxiety. They are anxiety based. So, for instance, if you have OCD, if you have misophonia, and you go to a doctor to get medicated, they're probably going to give you like an anxiety medication.
Well, OCD it's like a more extreme version of an anxiety disorder.
Yeah. So it's just like illuminated and compulsive anxiety. I think everyone has experienced anxiety. I just wanted to tell a quick story. Before I had kids, I was getting such bad anxiety attacks. I was one of those people. I actually went to the doctor thinking I was dying. I went to the ER by myself in the middle of the night thinking I was dying. My heart rate would go up. I was like, no, this is it. I'm having a heart attack. And every night, I remember going to Gary had to work, my husband, and he had to go to bed. And I was like, you have to stay up with me. And he wouldn't. So I went to my mom's house and just like, was like, Mom, just stay with me until I fall asleep, And it was very difficult. I was even linking up like hospitals to check into. Like it was bad. It was a like a month period where I was just having really bad anxiety. So I would go to the doctor, with all these issues that I thought I was having, and they would try to treat them and be like, "You're fine." And I was like, no one understands that I'm actually like, this is bad. Until I found the right doctor that was like, and normally you go to the doctor and if they're like, "Oh, it's just anxiety," you're like, "No, I actually have stuff, like pay attention." But this doctor, I was like, maybe I have anxiety. And they're like, like, let's see what we can do about that. So finding the right person really helped, and that got me out of it. Yes.
When you went to the ER, they didn't say this sounds like a panic attack?
No, I said I thought I was having a heart attack, and they did like an EKG, and then I like laid in bed, and they made sure, heart issues were fine, and then they sent me home.
Should do. I mean,
yeah, and they should, because if they
due
just go, "Oh,
diligence,
you're
but-
just being anxious."
I didn't mean like not check out those things, but like they
Yeah.
didn't put it together for you.
Yeah, because normally they do. So it was finally kind of when I brought it up to a doctor, they're like, "Let's figure out what would be best." So, amongst other things, I had to cut out regular coffee, and I went to decaf, and I cut out for
I'll
like
stop making fun of
like,
it.
and I went, "It's for my health, Kate." No, and then I went to, and I haven't had regular coffee since. I mean, once in a little while, and then I also cut out sugar for 6 months, like added sugar.
It's a lot of willpower.
I know.
I'm proud of you.
I was desperate, and
I love sugar.
and that, and then my husband like praying with me and saying, like, whatever worst case scenario is, like, and if you've had this anxiety attack 5 days in a row, you're going to survive the 6th and 7th one. So, which is really helping. So I wanted to know about your guys' experience and what has helped you guys through it, because I know what's helped me, but I think it's really, everyone has their own path and like different stories. And mine was very like, okay, you just need to take care of these things, and it really helped. I still have it, but what about you guys? What's your experience?
Yeah, I mean, I have a few things to
Some thoughts?
start off. Well, because I also have been diagnosed with an anxiety disorder. It was as a teenager, and a lot of the time I do pretty well, like managing on my own with the tools I learned and all of that, and then sometimes it comes up and it's really bad. And then like I have kind of a mild form of OCD that goes along with it. It's just the way my thoughts kind of circulate, and I look at things from like 25 million angles. But I think like what's hard with anxiety is it's all the things that could happen, right? It's not a reality. It's not a response to reality that is happening right now. It's the fear.
A lie. A lot of it is just lies.
Yeah. Well, so if I mean, have you seen Inside Out 2 yet?
No, I have not.
I think they do a really good job. So anxiety is one of the like new emotions, and I definitely like got the Pixar like tearing up at the end when she has the panic attack, because it's very relatable. Just the idea of like you're just like stuck and you're whirling and you can't get out of it. And in anxiety, even like the character introduces herself as like, "Oh, I'm like trying to stop the bad things from happening," right? Like she's like, "I care about Riley and I'm trying," and so that's, it's like it almost masks itself as like a good thing, like, "Oh, I'm just trying to like avoid pain and unnecessary whatever," but
like I'm necessary to protect you.
yes, yeah, like anxiety is there as a protection force, and maybe there's like a level of it that is appropriate to protect us, so we're not like making choices that cause bodily harm, and but it's when it just grows and grows that it does not suit us well. And what it controls you. And like what I found is when the actual like unexpected really bad situation happens, I'm gonna give an example that was kind of a personal thing, but so I was pregnant with my twins, and they're 4.5 now, so this was over almost, I guess, 5 years ago, because I was like 16 weeks pregnant and I was having bleeding. It was obviously very scary. And at first they didn't know what it was, and they ended up figuring out it was placenta previa, where the placenta's covering my cervix partly, and it can cause
It
bleeding.
was scary
And
for all of us who were, waiting to see
yeah,
what
and it was
going
during COVID, and so I had to completely by myself go up into the labor and delivery unit. They wouldn't even let my husband come because of COVID. So all by myself, not knowing if one or both of my babies had died. And it's not that I didn't have fear. Like, of course there's fear, but there's kind of this just like, I have to go do this. Like, I have to go check on my babies and do anything I can for them right now. And so the anxiety just wasn't there. Like anxiety didn't exist in that moment, because it was an actual real life, like, I have to go face this and figure out what's going on. And there's this just like strength somehow. Like, I'm not saying everyone in any situation like that is given this strength, but like, I know for me in those times and what others have expressed to me, that there's the strength that like,
It's kind of like your
we're
your
given.
brain is going like, okay, this is what we've been training for. Like, okay, here's a real life crisis.
Yeah.
We know what to do. Like, we're prepared.
Yeah.
Well, and like as a mom, you spend so much time being anxious about things that you shouldn't be. So
Right.
but you realize like you shouldn't be anxious, because when the real life situation happens, you're like, I'm in go mode. I'm in just like take care of this mode,
Well, and then what at the same
Sometimes.
time, yeah. But like, so I had that. The babies were okay, thank God. They're wonderful. They're here. They're 4.5. But
They're both okay.
but that situation happening, and then like that diagnosis of placenta previa, which meant that there was like continued bleeding, unfortunately, for a while, caused me a lot of anxiety the rest of pregnancy. And I ended up like having to talk to someone and stuff. It helps, like, but like, to be okay and kind of get through that pregnancy, I needed support because it was causing a lot of anxiety.
Yeah.
Isn't it so weird? Because it's like, okay, brain, if you can handle the actual crisis, don't keep worrying about another potential crisis, because we can handle it, But like, your brain is working so hard to.
It's like, this sounds silly, but like when you're like so scared to like get sick or something, for instance, or like I was so scared like my son would get sick. I'm like, no, okay, I don't want to have to. But like when he's actually sick, I'm talking about like stomach flu or something. When they're actually
The
doing
worst.
it, you're not like
Yeah.
scared. You're just like, okay, and you just kind of go into whatever mode, and it's like that. All that anxiety was literally useless. Like, maybe to a certain extent, like it helped us make good choices, but like it doesn't need to rule your world. That's a good story.
Thank you.
I mean, sad, I feel for you. I feel for you, but I'm saying like that's a good example. Yeah.
Well, I think, part of anxiety, that we have to say on the other end is like stuff like that. Like we hear these stories where tragedies happen, people lose their babies, their young children, whatever. You hear it so much in the news, and it's very real. Like,
social media, it's all over my For You page
Yeah.
for some reason. Yeah.
I know you gotta tell it. Not interested. It eventually it listens. No, and like that's the thing, is like, because it's like I'm drawn to those titles because I feel for this, but like as a mom myself.
Same. Yeah.
But then it just like it increases my own anxiety. It hurts my heart, and I'm like, I want to try to see less of it if I can try to get the algorithm to show me less.
And
of
it's
it.
not that we don't want to care.
No,
it's
we do care.
it's that being oversaturated with things that we're not naturally meant to be. It's like too much. It's not natural for us to hear 100 horrible like news stories every day. Like, it's not that we don't care, it's that it's not good for your mental state.
Yeah, like, we're only supposed to be that intimate with like
Our
an
community.
intimate group of people.
Yeah, just like we were talking about the village last
Yeah.
week. We were talking about kind of your village you live in, and then maybe you have extended people, but it's a
Yeah.
similar thing. It's like the people that you actually know and experience life with on a day-to-day basis. And I think we should still pray for the world and those who are going through the different things, but I think that hearing about it so much on a daily basis is anxiety inducing.
Tell us about your story.
Well, I haven't been diagnosed by like a psychiatrist or anything, just myself. But I do go to therapy. But I would say that I have anxiety. Like, is it the same? Like, okay, like chronic fight or flight and like CPTSD all kind of, I think, make the same thing happen in your brain where it's your,
Can you explain CPSD for anyone?
it's
I'm
com-
I'm not
it's
even sure.
it's complex post traumatic stress disorder. Yeah.
Mhm.
PTSD, you know, it's complex, meaning it's like over a period of time, like one's youth or something, like you're experiencing a trauma or traumas, like kind of over time that kind of reprograms your brain, like you're living in that trauma. So that's why I think I'm still in chronic fight or flight, which is hard to say. It's always a tongue twister. Fight or flight or fright? Yes, all of them.
Fight, fawn, or freeze.
Yes, I can do all. Watch me do it. It's my party trick. No,
What is this?
is this like- oh,
The fawning or freezing?
so there's like your
let
reaction.
her-
Oh,
Okay, I don't know.
yeah. Well, should I explain it? What fight, fawn, or freeze is for
Sure, yeah.
anyone who doesn't know. So it's something that animals have too. But like when you get adrenaline, your body kicks into it's the survival mode, right?
mhm.
So you have to quickly make a decision to either physically fight, flight, meaning run away, fawn, which is
Like, oh,
you're like, oh
I
yeah,
love- you
it's
know,
okay.
It's people pleasing so
people-
that
yeah.
you don't get hurt. You know.
Yes, and then or freeze is that's obvious, but
It's kind of like the opposite of love languages. Like, what's your anxiety
Mm.
language? What do you do?
Yes.
Right.
Yes. That's true.
Yeah.
Mine would probably be fawning. I'm like,
Mm.
everything's okay.
Yeah.
yeah,
Or
I do
fighting,
that
yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Or fighting, but like it takes a build to fight. I freeze too. Like I freeze and my brain is like trying to catch up and I like can't,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah.
I'm a fighter.
Okay.
So weird. No, I really do think though I go to like because I don't like passive aggressiveness. So I'm always like, God, just tell me, wow, you know,
Yeah,
like,
you'd
put
rather-
it on the hammer on the nail or whatever. So,
Okay.
anyways,
I want to hear more about the
So-
CPTSD
Yeah. So
and
all of those
and
are
the state of fight or flight.
yes.
Okay.
I don't know. Like the immediate example that I think of is like I have a hard time frying food because when the oil pops, I get fight or flight. I like "Ugh," and I remember like that was one of my closest to like a panic attack that didn't sound like Emily's, but just like I was frying liver, which is very good for you and your mental health, you know. But you like bread it in a little flour, gluten-free flour, and use bacon fat. That's what makes it taste good.
Yum.
Fried in bacon fat with lots and lots of caramelized onions, and you can stomach it. You can do it. But I haven't done it in a long time because I was frying this food, which is like very greasy and poppy, and I was like, and like I couldn't take it anymore. I just had to like go in my bathroom and just cry, but not just like, oh, that was hard. It was like the like
I've heard you like actually like be on the phone with me and you're like having almost like a full panic attack. From
like
it.
you're just
it really affects
it
you.
just floods your body, so you can't just like when that part of your brain is switched on, your reasoning is not in the driver's
It's
seat.
almost just like a physical response you can't help.
It
You're just
is.
physically like you can't help it. Just
Yeah.
triggers
It's like,
Well-
oh, my life was just in danger. Let me like run away and cry, and then like can think about it
Yeah.
later.
Well, and that's something I've learned about and thought about a lot as like a teacher because our students are like in that same
Mhm.
you know, like they're in this world where there's heightened anxiety and all of these things and
Mhm.
social media, like we were saying, like
Hyper awareness.
yes. And there's been like a lot of research around it that social media has majorly increased
Mhm.
anxiety in our society. But I feel like as moms too, you know, our kids are pretty little, but you know, sometimes you already see it and you know, you all can share or not share, you know, what you've seen from that. But like it's something like to try to like recognize in my own children to support them through it too, you know, because it's as much as we're trying to avoid raising them in a state of fight and flight and all of that, it's like
But it's
Yeah.
also like you said, like it might just be oil, but your body and your brain thinks you're actually in danger.
Mhm.
So like if your kid's having a meltdown and you think, oh, it's just this over this silly little toy or whatever it is, to them it's like it could be like a life or death situation. You know, it's all or nothing. So it having anxiety has definitely helped me be empathetic to people
Mhm.
because you just see like, you know, like seeing a nervous person shaking. Oh my gosh, that's like the most like saddest thing, and it just like I just feel it, you know. So it helps with empathy. That's good.
Yeah, well, and then like kids and teens whose brains aren't fully developed, they get pulled down into the the lower hemisphere or whatever, like because that's where the fight or flight comes from, is like the lower brain stem, right? And
Mhm.
so they get pulled down to it much faster because the prefrontal cortex is the last thing to develop,
Yeah.
and so
And we have to, it's easy to forget like they don't have the tools yet.
Mhm.
Like if
Poor
I have
babies.
if I react poorly to anxiety, we should be that much more understanding, you know. It's hard though.
And like we were also talking about like the different ways that can help people, like, or not across the board, like you have your own flavor of anxiety and how it affects you and what's going on in your mind, and like the ways of helping someone also are different, and like so many things you have to figure out about yourself. You have to figure out about each kid individually, like how to help them, because like I know myself, breathing exercises don't work because I get
Me
too stressed
neither.
about the breathing.
It sets my
I'm
OCD
like
in and then
out, like it's just too stressful, you know. And like so when my children have issues, like I know like some of them are like stubborn about some things and won't let that help them. So finding ways, I think we both have talked about like, okay, then just go run around, get it out of your system. Like I did that with my oldest daughter when she was probably like 4 or 5 or something like that. And that did help because she didn't want to just sit there and breathe. She's like, but
They do.
and
physical activity can pull you out of it, especially
Yeah.
a kid. Katie taught me that like having your kid just being outside or running laps or something, like it can pull them out of this
Well, because that
I ain't
like,
about to go run laps when I'm anxious.
well, I do. You know what I do? I do angry cleaning. Anyone? Can I get an amen? Anyone else? No. Okay.
I mean, I'm for it.
I get really productive when I am like when that switch flips. Flip a
I
switch.
should try that.
Yeah,
Then
I'm
at
just
least
like,
I'd get something done while I'm
like just gonna clear
Freaking
all
out.
this, and, just like I'm just getting ish done, and just
So
like,
is that what if okay, so shifting into the question portion, what would be your advice, that what do you do to get out of it, and what would be your advice? And then Katie, what do you do to get out of it when you're having that? So you clean.
yes.
Unrelatable. No, just kidding. I know a lot of
Well,
people relate to that.
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not like scrubbing the baseboards, but just like I don't know, just tasks. I get really productive, and it might be a little scary, but that like aggression has to like it has to finish the cycle and like get out of you. Otherwise, it's just like, ugh. Or just crying a lot.
Crying is another release, though, and it releases endorphins, and it's like
it's
there's a reason we do it.
Part of
The whole point of actual crying is it's a release. It's your body trying to get rid of emotions.
It does help. It's helpful. It's not like a weakness, like, oh, look at what you're reduced to, it's like
Dry
like,
those tears.
okay, this all has to like complete the cycle. And sometimes I'll just be like, just kids, just do whatever. I need to be excused and just like go and cry. Or if you are lucky enough to be alone in the car, you can yell or cry in the car. That's the best.
Acknowledging what you need in that moment, I think, is a huge thing, because a lot of people just want to like push past it, and especially for their kids, like keep dealing with it. But if you don't like ever deal with it, it's gonna explode at a bad time, So it's good to be like, okay, or like to your husband, like, take the kids, I need a minute, or, you know, like,
Mhm.
it's okay to ask for help.
I'm like, I could give the baby to Miguel and go like, here, take your son.
Yeah,
And just-
I've done that.
Well, I was gonna say, like, connecting to our episode about like female friendship, like if there's people in your life who you can rely on to, you know, call or, hey, let's go out, I need some time. I mean, I also, you know, I talk to my husband, and
Yeah.
usually it's helpful.
Yeah.
Boys, you know, they try real hard.
Yeah.
And, you know, but oftentimes like another female, I think
Yes,
just is going to be more quick to understand.
It's the classic,
Um,
like, the guy wants to just fix it or tell you what to do to fix it, and but sometimes you just need, like, someone to, like, validate you
Yeah.
and comfort you.
Or just to like ease the burden a little,
Mhm.
like we'll just throw our kids all together and we'll just be together, and then it's like
Yeah.
I've done that. I remember doing that with you. You were at my house. I'm like, if you were here, I would be freaking out about this right now.
Mhm.
But like, it just kind of grounds you a
It's
little.
almost like the body doubling with ADHD, you know, it's like having another person there just helps. And that's why we're meant to live in villages and literally have a village. Is we're not meant to be alone,
Yeah.
you know, with tons of kids and not have anyone to,
Connection.
Connection. No, I was gonna say too, like, part of having the other people is like actually like voicing it out loud, because I get stuck in the cycle in my own head and looking at it from all the different angles, and then it's like it's almost like you're actually experiencing this thing that you're anxious about.
Yes.
And if you know, like stopping and actually like talking to someone can help you get you out of your own head. And then along with that, prayer, which sometimes when I'm in the cycle, it's hard to be like, yes, I'm supposed to stop and pray. And, you know, you almost like do it begrudgingly.
Said that.
But, you know, but if we can actually pull ourselves out of it and, you know, focus on prayer. And I wanted to share, and I'm gonna look it up so that I'm quoting it correctly. And this was when I had my anxiety disorder diagnosis in high school. I found this verse very comforting. And if we can actually remember God, it is true. And if we get in our own heads, it's hard. But okay. This is Philippians 4:6-7. Okay, so be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. It's a good one. It's a good one.
Amen.
I love that one too.
You know, we have to let go, right? We have to actually call on God and then allow his peace to come.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really when I'm going through that, it's really hard to like God says, be anxious for nothing. Like it's like a command, not just like, oh, don't be anxious. It's like, don't be anxious because like I'm in control. And that is for me something that's really hard to like let go of what I'm
And to trust
Yeah.
someone other than yourself. You're like, I have to be in control of it.
it's an exercise in trusting God. And I mean there's a lot of physical things going on in the brain and stuff, but like in the soul and your heart, I think if we do learn to trust God more, which is something I'm working on, aren't we all? Then
For our whole lives.
then we like that's what I long for, that peace that surpasses understanding. Like my understanding is, you know, like I want to rise above that. I want God's peace that rises above
That's
that.
like
to,
my goal in life. I feel like that's that verse. It's always been like, that's my goal.
Mhm.
And I'm very far from my goal.
And I feel like the example I gave when, you know, I was worried about the twins during my pregnancy. Like I feel like the strength that I was given is like that peace that surpasses understanding, because that's when I should have like been completely breaking down and not able to do
really
it.
true. Yeah.
And it's like I was able to actually go through that with strength. And
that just gave me a whoosh of anxiety because I was thinking, like, yes, in those situations you get that peace, but until then you're just like, and I was like, oh no, do I have to have that peace soon? Because you know, like I just start getting anxious.
Yeah.
But That's just my welcome to my world, my brain.
I think it's hard because we are still living in this broken and fallen world where there are troubles.
Yes.
And so to fully like lay aside all earthly cares and let go of those troubles, like it is like the struggle, you know.
Katie, what would your advice be? Or well, okay, so when you've had like a panic attack, aside from like the medical thing,
Mhm.
what has been something that's helped you? And then what would your advice be to the viewers or someone who's struggling with that right now? Because I always find that helpful to hear other people's experiences on how they get out of it.
Cry.
Agreed.
That's 2 for crying.
For me, the breathing exercises can help. You know, I'm like a theater person, and so I do a lot of breath work with how to project and such, but it's a very like deep breathing. That's how you do, you know, so I do that regularly. I teach drama and stuff, so I'm like able, because I practice it so much, I'm able to like kind of call back on it for like a muscle
Are
memory.
you projecting on me right now? Different projection.
It's harder, like, because when you're in that state of anxiety, like, right, you're getting into that mode where you can't reason, so you have to just like something that is very easy for your brain to like do. So for me, because I do it a lot, it is something I can call on. But
And that was the other
it
thing
might
you
be
said
different
was
for other people.
the other thing you said already that I'm remembering now is you said, you know, talking to other people and getting
And then the
out of
praying and
the
you know,
praying. Yeah.
and
So you did
maybe,
cover that.
like, find a verse, like that's my verse that I love to go to, and like, okay, be anxious in nothing, the peace of God that surpasses all understanding. Like, I don't even necessarily say the entire verse, but I, you know, I connect those two things, like stop being anxious, God will give you peace, right? Or try, you know. Pray, request, let your request be made known unto God.
I just wanted to say one of my favorite verses, and I'm forgetting which psalm it is, like Psalm 51 or something. I might be wrong. Is the let the bones that have broken may that the bones that may have broken may rejoice. I love that because I always think of like when you're broken and you're just like, oh, I have to heal, but it's like like let those you want God to help you rejoice in those hard moments.
Yeah. Well,
which is like the goal, and you feel like that'll never happen again, and that's the prayer.
Yeah, that reminds me of what I was thinking of earlier that I forgot. But yes. I was thinking, because like that's kind of my go-to verse. But for anyone, like whatever kind of verse you find comfort in, if you can just have that as a go-to, sometimes it can just be like that kind of quick, like either verse or prayer or something that at least can start to get you out of it, and then, you know, go through whatever the other tools are that you have to try to get out of it. But
what comes to mind for me is, how long, oh Lord? You know, I'm like, hey, like in the Psalms, correct me if I'm wrong, but David in the Psalms, you know, went through all the emotions and ended up fine, ended up, you know,
I
but
love
like
the Psalms for
just
this
that
very subject.
relatability, you know, and to know, okay, God did not abandon him. Like God did see it through. Like you can't see the big picture right now, but like, I don't know if you kind of like imagine yourself as like an Old Testament saint or something going through all this like crazy stuff. It kind of like can put like, we are all part of God's story, you know. It's not the Old Testament and I'm not a saint, but like just seeing like he is acting in our lives just like he was acting in their lives, and just as much, and we can't see it, the big picture, but it is
something
painted.
Just thinking of Psalms, something my mom always, like, she was taught this and taught me, because Psalms is about in the middle of the Bible, right? So you can almost just kind of like open up to a random one,
like the biggest part of the Bible.
And so, you know, you kind of just like open to the middle of your Bible, and whatever like psalm it lands on, like let whatever that is comfort you. You know.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Christine, what is the Christmas song that's like, "There is no peace on earth," I said, but God prevails, or something?
I heard the bells on Christmas Day.
Yeah, I love that one because it always encourages me. Like when we feel like there's no peace on earth, and we're hearing all these beautiful Christmas songs, and we're like, but the world is so difficult, and it's like, but there is peace, or there is, God is working in this world even when we don't see it.
And then the bells pealed
We're gonna look it up really quick.
And peace on earth, goodwill toward men.
So Katie's looking that up.
Heard
We should save this for a Christmas episode. No, but this is like, it's not a psalm, but it's one of those things that I think of in the difficult moments. And it's the part of the song that says, "And in despair I bowed my head. There is no peace on earth, I said, for hate is strong and mocks the song of peace on earth, goodwill to men. Then pealed the bells more loud and deep. God is not dead, nor doth he sleep. For Christ is here, his spirit near, brings peace on earth, goodwill to men." And then it goes into other
Amen.
beautiful things. But that line always is like a psalm to me, in that, not a psalm, but it comforts me in times of trouble.
It's
So
beautiful. It's a beautiful sentiment
yes.
and reminder. See, people through all time have been grappling with the same struggles.
Mhm.
I had two other things about like when you're in it that I just wanted to mention. One thing, because I said like breathing is hard for me sometimes. I did learn, because I'm always like, okay, I'll breathe. And like when you breathe into your chest, like that's still fight or flight breathing. You have to breathe down into your stomach. I literally cannot do it. Like if I'm like just sitting here, I like have to like stick up my stomach. I can't do it. Like I probably haven't been doing it my whole life. But if you're laying on your stomach on the floor, then it's like kind of automatic. So I've been like crying, and I go and lay on the floor and just feel myself breathing into my stomach onto the floor, feeling that like your tummy meet the floor. And that helped, it just kind of forces you to like slow down and feel and be present. And so I found that helpful. Also, I heard someone say, like just like wherever you're sitting or standing, like feel the support of like the chair underneath you, like feel the floor under your feet, and like just be aware of that feeling, like, oh yeah. And like feeling supported reminds your body you're not running away from a danger. You're not like, you're okay, my body's like in a place where I'm not in danger, and I just was like, oh yeah, like I do feel like, oh, this chair's got my back, just like I know.
Okay.
And I thought that was helpful, and that's something I had never heard someone say before.
I don't know about you guys, but just thinking, like hearing you talk, I thought there's a lot more I could say on this subject. I almost feel like in a little while we'll have to come back to anxiety
And
like for
revisit.
part 2, because like there's been so many there's so many different types of anxiety that I feel like I've experienced that like I haven't even touched on,
Mm-hmm. We've also touched on like despair and doubt and depression. We could talk about that too. And there's
so, but before we do move on though, I have a question for our audience to comment. What subjects do you think would be interesting for us to talk about? Because we have a list, but we'd also love to hear what you guys, would be interested in. Yeah. So
they're all like depression. Depression.
OCD. OCD. We have a lot of fun ones out there, but
fertility.
So because we need to wrap up this episode, but I just want to say like there's a lot more to be said about anxiety that will also be in probably a lot of our episodes, but eventually maybe we'll do a part 2. But that kind of sums up our overall experience and advice.
There could be a whole podcast just on anxiety.
Yeah.
But that's not our podcast. So we want to go into our appreciations segment for the week. Who would like to go first?
I wanted to appreciate Emily today. I wanted to appreciate Emily today because we had a little miscommunication that was all my fault. Oh, holding my hand.
I went to grab her hand and write, and like she pulled it away, but not knowing.
Anxiety.
Don't touch me. No, it's okay. And like at first we both panicked a little, but then she called me back and reassured me and made me feel like loved and safe, even though I messed up. And I really appreciate that because it's hard when you're like, I'm gonna mess everything up and everyone's gonna hate me forever. And then, so
Aw.
thank you, Emily, for
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you.
coming around
Thank
and,
you.
and helping me out.
Thank you. Because I'm like, I freaked out for a minute there. Like, because we thought we just messed up the plans. But it's been really chaotic lately. So we figured it out,
has.
though. And it's good. Katie, who are you appreciative for?
I forgot to think of one beforehand, so I'm coming up on the fly. What actually came to mind as like I was thinking of like one of my children in particular that I appreciate, but I thought it might be good to do just like a brief one of like each of them, because I'm like, there's these little moments where your kids just sometimes surprise you with like how kind they are. And so my oldest does a really great job playing with my baby and his brothers, and he's actually really worked on those skills. And then I have my twins, and so one of them's autistic, and like I appreciate him for just like reminding us of all the simple joys in life, and just like how excited one can get over a very small thing, and that we should try to like have some of that joy. And then his twin brother is just, he just has this like kind heart. And even like earlier today, I was crying. There's a little anxiety happening, and I believe in like sometimes you cry in front of your kids. Like it's okay for them to see, that parents are humans with emotions. But he just like came and gave me a really sweet hug, and like he wanted to help me feel better. And he does the same for the baby, like if he knows she's sad, and he'll go sing to her. And then the baby, I appreciate her for just like being amazing and adorable.
She's so
and
cute and
like,
friendly.
Yeah, it's like every morning, like you just, she wakes up and she's kind of babbling to herself, and I go like look in the bassinet, and she just like smiles at me, and it's
she's
like
a super chill baby too.
Yeah. Well, she's chill, like she doesn't like cry a crazy ton, but like she's very active. She's like she's ready for life. So she's almost 6 months old tomorrow.
I'm thankful for your kids too, and my kids and your kids. Christine did this one the first episode, but I really am thankful for our mother, because she, first of all, I believe a mother's prayers can save their children, and I believe that full-heartedly, that my mom has like saved me in some ways, but also in like a spiritual way, but also just like day to day, she's the one that like if I'm between her and Christine, if I'm really like having an anxiety attack or whatever, I'll like talk to them. But my mom is like the one who will always answer in the middle of the night, and she's letting us use her home to film this, and we just kind of assume she's available whenever, and that's part of why it was chaotic today, because we thought she was available to watch the kids, and she wasn't. We support you, Mom, in your doctor's appointments. But I'm so thankful for her and her like selflessness, because it's not like she has to think about being selfless. It's just that's how she naturally is with us and our kids and us, So I'm thankful for my mother.
I'm not tearing up.
Oh,
yeah. Moms are awesome.
They are. Yeah.
And we're moms too.
You guys are awesome. You guys are both doing a great job, and I take things from both of you with my own parenting and everything. Do you want to try a sip? It's really good.
It looks
Christine's stealing my drink if you're not watching this.
if you're listening via the podcast.
I was taking something from you.
Okay. Oh,
I get it. Okay, and then for our last segment, we'll update on our goals for the month. How we doing, ladies?
I'll start. I'm trying to write more every weekly on Wednesday and Friday. Okay. So last week I forgot it was Friday on Friday. So I did write a haiku on Saturday. So I'm trying to keep up. And then this week, just by the skin of my teeth or whatever, I did write something on Wednesday. I've been having posting problems on my Instagram. So like people, it might not look like I've been writing, but I have been. It just is like deleting my stories. So I think it might still be there if you want to follow up for accountability, ladies. But yeah, I'm hanging on the wagon or whatever it's called.
Emily,
I'm trying to reset my circadian rhythm, and I've been just sleeping less and less.
Emily, oh no.
No, like, okay, because like my mother-in-law's in town. We've been busy. I'm like,
And the baby.
the baby, she's almost 1, but she wakes up like between 5 and like 8 times a night right now. I don't know what's going on. She's teething, but so I'm trying really hard to go to bed earlier. That's like at least my bottom line goal. But getting enough sleep, I don't know about that. But I'm going to be documenting my journey, so tune in soon for more information about that. Katie.
My goal was to finish unpacking and organizing my house that we moved into 2 months ago. And I'm doing okay. We have a guest coming this weekend, and so I'm trying to just get the house like in order for that mostly. And you know, it's been a really busy week. So I would say I give myself a C+ on that goal for the week.
I give mine a solid C. I've seen Christine's efforts, though. I give you an A.
Oh, well, maybe a minus, but I'm not as harsh on myself as you guys are. My goal's easier too. Like,
No,
I mean,
a little.
Okay. So, as a reminder to you all, new episodes drop every Monday. And so, like Emily said earlier, make sure you comment what you're interested in future episodes being about, and like and subscribe, and please share. That's the biggest thing. It's like the word of mouth advertising. I was just listening to a podcast about how that's still the very best form of advertising.
tell your
And
friends.
yeah, if you found this useful or fun or anything, share. And
if you hate it, send it to 10 people.
and if you love it, send it to 100. Okay. Or
And I wanted to say, I also want people to comment what works for them in anxiety and what doesn't work for them, because I think it's
That's a
really
good one.
fascinating, and sometimes you hear things that you haven't heard before.
Yes.
It really, when I was in the depths of anxiety, I literally like posted like asking for advice, and everyone had different advice, but all of it was like, "Ooh, that's good. I didn't think of it that way."
Well, you never know like who you might be helping.
Yeah.
By
You
something
might
someone
be
hadn't
helping
thought of.
someone.
Yeah.
The audience members might be helping someone by commenting something below that, like, "Oh, I've never heard that before." So, thank you so much for joining us. Join us next week as we talk about. You'll have to wait and find out, at least right now. But anyways, thank you for joining us. This has been Mugs and Mercy. Woo! See ya.
Mwah.
Mwah.